making $488 trading eBay. Not selling on eBay, trading the stock. What's going on, guys? Welcome on into today's trade recap. Let us dive on in. So we have a couple positions open right now, or I guess now only two positions open. We had three open. They were all swings. Two I opened yesterday from when I'm filming this recap, the day before the recap. And one I added to, or I opened up on the Thursday. I am going to be gone Friday, so I don't know what's going to happen Friday, but either way, it kind of worked out that this trade ended up hitting take profit, which I did not expect it to do. I definitely did not expect it, but it did. So we have two positions here, or two trades, one on the $10,000 account and one on the $25,000 account. So if I go back in, or you can see inside them the net ROI on them, because it's the exact same, because the trade copier is copying the size and just multiplying it by 2.5 times on the 25K account. So with that said, I technically could pull, I believe, some money out of the funded account at this point, but I'm going to leave it in there for now because I want to build a little bit of a cushion before I start doing that. So if we dive into it, here's the chart. That's gold, sorry. Also looks really freaking good. Dude, when you look at that, when I look at that, I go, man, oh man, I could not have predicted that would occur today. I couldn't have. Who would have known? Not me. Because if you go back in time, now the good news is that to a degree you kind of could, you kind of can, and I mean that in a serious, like a legitimate way. Because when I say you kind of, what I'm referring to really is, though, just the size of this move. eBay finished the day up 4%. eBay is not a stock that tends to move that much. It's not a Tesla. It's not an Nvidia, right? Like, it's not a AMD, Meta sometimes. No, it's not. It's eBay. It's slow mover, choppy, does its thing, right? Trends, but up day, down day, up. I traded it before. I did, and it was choppy. For weeks, I was in it for so long, I'm like, oh, man, just not going. Maybe the stars are aligning. Maybe momentum is entering the market back again. I don't know. But the size of that candle, I mean, you just don't see candles that close that strong, that are that large on eBay. You just don't see it. But the reason why I say you can kind of predict it is because when you haven't seen it in a while, we have a lot of choppy consolidations. That means that the chances of that happening, go up. Because the market tends to cycle. We go through phases of trend, momentum, to choppiness, consolidations, to pullbacks, to breakouts. And so when you haven't had something for a while, it tends to be good. So, or it tends to, the chance of it happening increase exponentially as time goes on, because it could. And the chance of it happening, if it just happened, and it's probably not going to happen again for a while, but it's not impossible. Either way, the trade was the breakout above this 59.85 level. Technically speaking, you would have gotten in on this candle right here, which was on Tuesday. I saw it happen. I had the alert go off on Tuesday, but I said, I'm going to wait because Wednesday is CPI. Now, I waited for CPI. We had what we saw, or what I saw, was a retest of the breakout point on Wednesday after CPI. And then it held, and I said, okay, I'm going to get in. And I ended up getting in. We can double check my entry price. I ended up getting in at 60.21. 60.21 was my average entry, or my entry price. It was one buy, one sell, no scaling out. So 60.21 actually this is a little bit inaccurate. Let me just move this dial right into where it was. Right there, boom. 60.21, I get in. I go stop loss under the breaking candle low, which would have been at 59.20. I think I put my stop loss around 59, to be completely honest. So if I move it down to 59, if I'm not mistaken, which does it tell me? I don't think it tells me. It doesn't log those. Yeah, it doesn't log it automatically. Trade Locker does. So it ends up being a little bit of our 2-to-1 risk reward. So I didn't risk a ton on this trade because I was a little bit sketched out because of just knowing eBay is not the fastest of movers. And in this case, it worked really nice. So I was like, oh, wow, it just went for it, which is great. So sometimes it goes, sometimes it doesn't go, and, cool. I got some open positions right now that we got, in the back burner. So we'll see what happens to those. But currently here are our stats for the month. We did not start off great. I started off actually pretty poorly, almost exactly like the past, or August. with 2 or 3 trades that were like almost identical to how I started off August. And I was like, dude, what are we doing here? But good news is that we've come back, we've gone green, and our profit factor is good, which obviously means we're green. And our trade win rate is not great, but that's awesome that we were profitable with a 37.5% win rate. So I'm happy with that. 2.36 average win-loss is really good in my opinion based off how I do things. And if I can get this number into the 40s, oh, man, we are looking really juicy. So that's what we're looking for. We'll see what happens going forward. I think we can, like I said in the past, I have aspirations to really improve this number. I think I can do a better job. And I think that the reality of improving that number is the way we improve that number is not focusing on improving the number. It's focusing on the trades, focusing on the charts, and the numbers of byproduct. Because what I tend to find is that when I start focusing on the numbers too much, I start doing too much, too many trades, too many things. And so while it says I have 16 trades for the total for the month, which we're about almost halfway through the month, I guess by the time we hit Monday, it'll be about halfway through the month. So 16 trades, you think, oh, that's a decent amount. It's averaging a little over 1 per day because it's the weekend and stuff. But realistically, it's less because with the trade copier, it's counting 2 of them at a time. So we're probably looking around 10 trades or so, which I think is a good number to be at, to be honest with you, so far on the month. And I hope to continue to play that game with swings. Mini update on the swings, I guess. I should just mention them because we are here. I'm not in Roblox, but here's my green list. Here's my list of stuff that I was like, oh, these look pretty interesting. I'm not in this one. Didn't look as good to me, but it's technically breaking out. So there's that. Roku, I am in. I got in on the stream yesterday. So I'm in, and that's up nicely. It's actually halfway to our target. My target's at $80. If it hits 80 on Friday, by Friday, which is tomorrow when I'm filming this video, if it hits 80 on the last day of the week, I will let it go because I'm not taking my computer with me to where I'm going to Michigan. So I'm not taking my computer with me just for a weekend. So if it hits 80, it hits 80. The only way I can edit that trade, because there's no app for DX trade, is on my computer. I don't know. Maybe I will take. I don't know. Either way. I'm not going to have access to the computer during the day, is what I should say, even if I do take it with me. So this trade, if it hits 80 somehow, which would be a $6 move, which would be like, a 6.5% move or something like that, 7% move. I don't even know. Crazy move. If we go 7% tomorrow on Roku, yeah, I don't think it's going to happen. But I said that I didn't think eBay was going to happen, so you never know. But in a perfect world, what I'm looking for is probably going into next week and beyond, if it does take longer, is if this does end up panning out, I will be looking to take about 70% of the position off at $80, moving the stop loss to break even, and then going 85 for the rest of the shares, the 30% left. That will be the plan. We'll see how we get there, but there's that. Gold, we are also in. Beautiful breakout setting up right now on gold. We'll see if it continues. We'll see what happens. I mean, gold's been a little bit of a choppy bitch, but if she wants to go, great. I'm looking for over $2,600. If we get above 2610, then there's a good chance my targets are being hit. I think my target's just north of that, if I'm remembering correctly. So we're in that. I got in on that one on Thursday, and then Meli, MELI. I did not get in this one. This is one that I am going to watch from the sidelines as she does her beautiful thing. I think this is an amazing setup. I think it's an amazing play. I just felt that I didn't need to take on the extra exposure, Beautiful. I mean, just, oh my God. It just makes me like, literally, this is like a textbook, cream my pants type of, like, I'm serious. Like, I can't. When I look at it, it's like, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. The reason why is because you jump out to the bigger time frame, and you go highs that were back in January of 2021. That was the all-time high, okay? So I marked that level off. That all-time high, it just so happens that we had a consolidation literally at the all-time high. Like, we literally, like, the consolidation, the all-time high runs, like, almost directly through the middle of the consolidation, which is fucking insane. So it's like, oh, we're like, we're coiling it up here. And it's like, oh, can we go? You've got uptrend, so you got strength, coil at all-time highs. If you break it on high volume, that's a recipe for an absolute bust. And that's exactly what's happening. I mean, 4.6% day. I don't even know what the fuck this company is. I have no idea. They're in the NASDAQ. I don't know. But they're apparently a fucking great company because they're blasting to all-time highs today. Either way, volume is not amazing, but it's good. It's pretty good. Earnings is not for until like end of October, so you got plenty of time. You're right in between the earnings cycle, which means just let it go. You can swing it with your nuts out, like you can let it go. You can let them hang, on this type of situation, because it is just like, you don't have, I mean, of course there could be price target upgrade, price target downgrade, some bullshit news that could, it's always a risk, but that's part of the game, right? So this looks great. It's like almost halfway to the target that I drew out as a rough sketch, a rough guess. So beautiful. And it's not, I wouldn't be looking for a huge move there, but boom. So what I am seeing, just objectively looking at things, is that the breakouts are starting to creep back into play here, and they're working nicely on the bigger time frames. So we don't see that right now in large cap tech at all. Like those stocks are not near breakout levels. They are still kind of making their way back up, or, trying to build themselves back up from the pullback they just had. So we're not there, but if you look elsewhere, you'll find it. So that's what we're looking at. And boom, there you have it. If you have any questions or thoughts, leave in the comments like always. I don't know. I'll leave a link to TradeZella below. There's a 10% coupon code, TC10. Use it if you pay for them, because that saves you money. I, unfortunately, should have been using someone else's code, but I didn't, so I pay full price. I wonder if I can add a code now for next year. I just paid like a month ago, so. Either way, that's the recap. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace. I'm still here.